So here's the process for uploading new firmware on my joysticks. Any of the joysticks made since about mid 2023 can do firmware updates in the field. So if you aren't sure, ask me and I will let you know. So the first thing you're going to need to do is download the appropriate firmware file. And this is a good idea for you to work with me on it because I can point you to the right direction. The first thing you want to do is you want to go over to GitHub, github.com/Nelson and the letters II. And underneath there is a folder called firmware. So just click on that folder. And then within that folder, it's a little bit of a mishmash, and I'm in the process of cleaning it up. But it has all of the firmware files for most of the joysticks. If it doesn't have the one you're looking for, ask. And I've recently updated it so that I have a separate folder for gaming joysticks. So let me go into that one. And I have a folder for Palm Power because in this example I'm going to update the firmware on one of these power sticks. This is basically, it's a palm stick like the smaller one, except it has the larger joystick extension. So you would go under the Palm Power and there is a Palm Power underscore and then a date UF2 file. So this is the firmware file that you're going to want to download. So click it and download it to your machine, to wherever you normally have things downloaded. And then we will start the next step. So let's say, let me try to minimize some of these windows. Let me move this window over here. So here I have the UF2 file on my local machine right now. So let's switch over the camera again and show how to get the joystick going. Okay, to get the joystick going, what you need to do, this is a little bit coordinated, and I know it's kind of a drag, but it's about the easiest I could make it at this point. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to press down the button on the joystick and plug it in at the same time, and then keep holding down on the button. What you'll notice now, when you normally plug in one of my joysticks, it goes like this. It goes red, yellow, green, right? That's a typical startup. In this case, we want to set it to boot mode so we could put new firmware on it. Oh, important point. Remember, you're connecting this right to your computer. You aren't not through the Xbox adaptive controller or anything else. You want to go right through your computer. So if you hold down the button and plug it in, it'll flash pink and white. And it will do this for about 5 seconds or so, and then there will be a light green color inside. And now let me switch over to my computer screen again. What will happen on your computer is a new drive will show up, and it will be called QtPy_boot. And in my machine it shows up as H, but it could be anything on your machine. Now, to program this is real simple. All we're going to do is we're going to drag the UF2 file from where it's on our PC down onto that QtPy_boot H file. So you don't even have to rename it. So don't even worry about renaming it or anything. Now, if you, for some reason, want to back up your current one, the current code on the stick, just for fun, you could take this file, copy it to your local PC, and rename it something like my original joystick code or whatever. So all you do is drag and drop, and if we're kind of it's gonna go by real fast, and then what will happen is the joystick will reboot automatically. So let me drag that file over, and I'm just gonna drop it. And just a second, and then it reboots, that window closes, and now the joystick is showing the bright green. That's it. That's all you have to do. If you accidentally trigger boot mode, like if you're just messing around, Oh, I'm going to just mess around. Plug it in. Oh, get it in boot mode. Oh, I really didn't want to do that. No problem. Just unplug it and plug it in, and you're set. Let's see. The other thing is if you start like accidentally pressing it, but if you don't hold it for 5 seconds, it won't trigger the mode. You have to hold it down for 5 seconds. So that is how to do it. It's a drag and drop. You download the file off of GitHub, put it somewhere on your local machine, and then drag the UF2 file onto the stick. And the nice thing is I could configure this for maybe different settings. Like these palm sticks are often used as mice, and that requires separate software. So I have a firmware for the mouse version versus the joystick version. I'll eventually integrate those, but I haven't done that yet. So there we go. That's how you do it. Thanks for watching.